Strange tools, multi-tools with lights. Welcome. This is Haku EDC. If this is your first time on the channel, you're going to see some unusual stuff. I've got pretty traditional stuff at times, but also brings unusual stuff. Today is going to be unusual. I'm going to talk about multi-tools with lights. Now, there are a number of multi-tools with lights, and I'll maybe a couple that you know, but then I'll go to some that you probably don't know. If I go through my list here, and there's some that you know about, please let me know, and just put those in like the comments. I'm going to start off with a couple of them that you really know about and are pretty simple. They are your Swiss Army. This is your Midnight Manager. And this is a special one called Victorinox at Work that people probably don't know about, or maybe they have seen and have wondered about. This one has a little red light. This one has a white light. And let me just back up and say, yes, there's going to be a lot of flashing lights. And yes, we're going to go through lots of lights during this video. This one, the Midnight Manager, is one that a lot of people know about. It is a fantastic 58 millimeter Swiss Army knife. It's got some really great tools in it. And probably my favorite tool that's on here, and I'm not going to go through all the tools on all of these things, but my favorite tool is by far the combo tool. Screwdriver, can opener, wire stripper, cutter. That makes this tool kind of what it is. But it also comes with your Victorinox scissors, which are fantastic, a knife, and a few other things with it. But the coup de grace, besides the light, is the pen, P-E-N. So you can use this to write with. One of the reasons why this was originally a red light, they do make white lights now, is for train travel in Europe. Many years ago, when these actually first came out, train travel in Europe was done with, you needed to actually, in many places, just sign your ticket or sign your passport or sign some piece of paper. And red light is better at night. So people that took the night trains and they need to sign something, that they would carry this with them. They would bring it out, and red is easier on your eyes and on your neighbor's eyes. But most people didn't like the red light, especially here in North America. And so the white light became a lot more prevalent. This is the Victorinox at Work one. I know people probably know about it, but haven't really seen this. This is an older one. It is basically the SD with a knife and scissors. It also has your pen there, P-E-N. The thing that makes this unique, it has a USB. For those people that travel, I have a couple with USB that don't have a light, but are jet setters. So there's a jet setter with a USB drive, and I would use that in my computer for when I travel. These two multi-tools are ones that people have used, or at least the Midnight Manager is one that people know about and have used quite a bit. Now, I'm going to say is that I always have three number of lights on me. I typically have two to three lights. I'm not a three knife guy, but I'm a three light guy. I'm not scared of the dark. I've done caving, deep sea diving, so I know what the dark is like, but I always like to have a light. The light that most people have with them is their phone light. This is my phone light, flashlight. It is a Pixel phone. Then in my pouch, this is my around the house pouch. I've got a larger one for like when I leave the home. When I'm in the home, and in this one, I'm trying to see what light I usually carry a Rovion or a or a Borac single lens one. Right now, I'm rocking this Olight 13E one. And this is the one that's just a twist on and off. And this is what it looks like. That's two lights that I would have on me at any given point. But I also have a third light. I got this Garmin watch. It is a fantastic watch. It is the best EDC watch. There's no better watch. It's solar powered. You literally can run it forever without charging up. I didn't say 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, forever, because it is solar charged. It tells you how many days left it is of charging. And if you get out inside of the light, it'll recharge itself up. It does do GPS connection. It does connect to your phone. So it does everything a smartwatch will do, just that you don't have to charge it up. I once went 30 plus days without charging up, and on like the 30th day, it still literally showed me it had 17 days left for charging. So if I would put it out in the sun longer, it would go back up. Enough of that rambling. The reason why I got this out, because the most interesting thing about this is that it has something that a lot of watches don't have, which is a light. This brighter, and it'll go for quite a while. But so I have technically three lights on me pretty much all the time. I'm going to spend a few minutes showing you the different multi-tool lights that I have in my collection. Then at the end, I will compare some of the lights of the handheld small stuff so that you can see the difference in the lighting. Then we'll just hope that you will enjoy yourself. Please comment on anything that you see. If you know of a multi-tool that has a light that I did not mention, please put it in the comments below. This is one of the most interesting things that I have. It's called the Gerber Multilight. It was actually an interesting competitor to Swiss Army knives. It does have things like a knife in it, other tools that are that you typically find in a Swiss Army knife. A little can opener. It folded up, and it did have a little compartment here where you had tweezers and a toothpick and a mini screwdriver. And I originally got this, I want to say 2008-9 area. Well, definitely 15 years ago. But I got it because I thought it might be an interesting bike tool. It does lock, so it doesn't come open, but it does have a little light here. Of all the lights, when I first got it, I realized even though it's late at night and I need to do something on my bike, it's still really hard to both open this up and to use the light. It takes a little bit of effort here. In fact, you do get tools that actually do lock. Let me take out a little knife here. It does lock. If you want to fold this down, it's the lights on the opposite end. See, it's really hard to use. This is the Gerber Microlight, is what it's called, and it is U.S. made. I have seen people sell these things on eBay for what I think are outrageous prices. But that's the Gerber Microlight. Speaking of Swiss Army knives, when we started this out, we did a Swiss Army knife, and they actually have multiple ones with lights on them. This is called Huntsman Light. Light, Lite. It does come with a little light on it, and it's a really nice. If you have the Swiss Army Knife Hunter, then it's exactly the same tools, but with a light on it. And it's a pretty nice light. This is really a great survival knife. If you're out in the woods and that you need something, it really has it all, because it has two knives, a pair of scissors, a saw on it. It has inline Phillips. That's something that a lot of Swiss Army knives really don't have, that work super well, but this one does. And obviously, as I stated earlier, it's got the saw, which is fantastic. None of these are locking, so just to remind you of that, as in most things. And it does come with plus scales, so you do get a pen, tweezers, and toothpick. If you were to do that, I would definitely flint or tinder here, and then take off the toothpick and add a flint rod to it, and then you're ready to go. Very nice survival tool. You would just need to make sure that this light is working well for you. One of the very first items that I ever did on this channel was called Things I Regret Purchasing. And this 36 in tool piece from Kelvin .36 was one of the things that I had listed. Now originally I think that this was like a Kickstarter thing, but I bought it off of eBay. Surprisingly, you can still find these things available. And as you can tell, it comes with some bits in there and a little knife here, a little paper cutter here. But most interesting thing is that it comes with a light, and this is a little flashlight here. Since I don't use this particular item, I don't think that I've used it since I got it. But I assume that you can turn on the light, use the bit bar here, and then just screw or unscrew something in the dark. It doesn't really come with any pliers, but it does come with a hammer head here and a corkscrew. So this is the Kelvin .36. If I can find it somewhere on eBay or online, I will put a link in the description. I will tell you, as I stated in my original piece, avoid at all costs. This is a little strange one. I'm not sure people would consider this a multi-tool, but this is a magnifying glass. It have a light on it. You press this little piece here and the light will go off. In case you need to magnify something and look at it, this is a great way to do something in the dark. It's also a great little travel piece. Once again, there'll be a link to this in the descriptions. Now, this was a fantastic tool that I use quite often. I used to use KeySmart and KeyPort keychains, attachment pieces for years. I don't know, maybe 20 plus years or so. I don't usually carry keychains now, but like the last one that I did use was this KeySport, which came with a whole bunch of different tools that you can add and subtract from, including it came with a knife here. This system here is about lights, and this has a fantastic light on it. This is the low, medium, high. So you can low, medium, high. So this is a great light for us year-round bikers. Because in case you don't want to take your flashlight off your bike, you're not wearing one on like your head, and that you just want to get to something. This is what I would use, and I can click it on, I can see it, and the downside of it that is pretty big. The upside is with this chain you can hook another ring around it, and then put your other keys on it. So this is a keychain flashlight multi-tool piece, and I said, it does come with a knife that you can put on here. I rarely carry the knife with it. It is a slip joint. You've just seen the Gerber one, and there's a couple other ones that are old and new that have lights on them that are really interesting. This one is very much like a cyber tool. It isn't a cyber tool. It's a close multi-tool, but it's kind of like the cyber tool with bits on it. And it does have some pliers, knife, saw. This is the kind of, and it has a level, which is really interesting. This is the kind of thing that you might want to use in in like a technical environment, but it's good for just general camping. And then there's two small LEDs. They aren't very bright, but I would assume if you were using the cyber tool part of it and that you were in a, a computer space that was in between two other computer spaces, such as a rack, this light might come in handy just to find something in particular. Uh, this one's probably from the mid maybe 2010. This is a newer one. This is called the Right Edge, but I think it's under a whole bunch of different names. It is very much similar to, in some ways, this tool here. And it has a compass that I think is just really weird because it folds out. But the weirdest thing, it does have a single little light here. None of these lights are very bright. Probably of these three here, this one from the coast is by far the brightest, and that's primarily because it has two LEDs in it, as opposed to one. And the LEDs are white. This is sort of a yellowish one, and I'm not exactly sure why it is that color. But those are three things, three multi-tools, Right Edge, Coast, Gerber, that have lights on them that I think their job is really to compete with Victorinox ones that have lights on them. I know this little section is called Strange with lights. This is a multi-tool, like Essential Strange Tool. This is by far the hardest one. It's an 8-in-1 screwdriver. That screwdriver comes out like this, and then obviously has two different screwdrivers. This one happens to be a Phillips here and snaps back in place. There are some straight edge ones or slotted ones, depending upon how you want to call it. This is lights, right? So let's say you want to use it, and you push this button here, and there's a light there. I'm going to shine the light up to the camera. So there are 6 of these, 2, 4, 6. That is very interesting. Sorry for the blinking piece. But then you do for screwdrivers. This is really interesting and very strange at the same time. Um, just to be clear, this isn't mine. This belongs to a neighbor of mine who bought this. But there's a whole number of these on Amazon, of which there'll be a link in the descriptions. There's range in price from $9 to $20. I'm not sure why the big difference in price. I wonder if some of them come with batteries and some of them don't. This one, my neighbor said, did not come with batteries. And he said he paid $12 for it last year. This is a really interesting screwdriver. Just one more time. It's got a light on it and one of the brighter lights. This is the Felisa 13N1, and it is a wrench plier system. And in it you will find a knife, and there's also a saw and a few other items that you would typically find in a multi-tool, such as a can opener, pry bar. But because this is about strange tools, and we're looking at tools, why they're strange beyond the wrench setup, it is because they have little things like bits that you can use, and of course the light. That's why we're here, strange light. So the light is on the back side of this. It isn't super bright, but it is okay. It will actually do well in most settings, but because it's at the end, it is really of no use while doing any work. This is the Felisa 13N1. This is the Swiss card light. It's a nice credit card. It's got actually a fairly nice group of implements, I mean the knife, the scissors, the Victorinox scissors. It's got a pen, P-I-N, and also another pen, P-E-N. Tweezers, toothpick. It's got this so that you can do like little small screws that are flat or Phillips, and a magnifying glass. All those things work fantastically. The biggest disappointment of this is the light. It does have a red light. It doesn't give off anything at all. Um, they would have put this light on the nail file one, because then the nail file one would be TSA compliant and the light was white. That would be the things that would very much improve that particular one. You don't need a light on this one, then use your regular Swiss card. So I tell people, if you're looking for a Swiss card, do not get the Swiss card light. Get any of the other ones, just not the light one, because you'll be disappointed. I stated at the beginning, I want to show you, compare a few of these lights, and I'm only comparing the ones that are easiest to get a hold of and that the ones that you might be interested in. What I want to compare to are the two lights that I travel with. When I do my one bag travel, I usually put one right on my back, and this is in Olight I Mini 2, and this is one you pull it out and it starts working, and you attach right this section here to something that's on your bag. That's USB for charging. And this is a LumenTop EDC01. It's basically a AA battery screw type, and it's got a low filter on it, so it's got a high and a low depending upon what you want to do with it. Yes, you can take this off to get a little more of a spotlight, but I only use it when I'm traveling, so I don't really need that large of a spotlight. So I will be comparing it. What I'm going to be comparing is the Frida magnifying glass, the Swiss Army knife 58 millimeter white and red, the Huntsman, and the 8-in-1 screwdriver, so that you can see that. I'm going to turn down the lights a little bit, and then you'll be able to see the difference in how bright they are compared to each other if you weren't able to get that then. So give me just an opportunity just to turn the lights down a little bit here. Now you should still be able to see. These are magnetic. So I'm going to pull this off here so that you can see. It's going to roll. It is, and then this is the LumenTop one right here next to it, so that you can see that. This right here is the magnifying one with the light. So you can see it's not quite as bright as any of those are. White light, it's not as bright either or anywhere close to it. In fact, I'm going to turn these off because I already know that these are going to be much brighter. We don't need that distraction. This is once again the light here. This is a red, white light. The red light is a little brighter than the white light is. Then this is the Huntsman. And the Huntsman is kind of interesting because I think, so there's the Huntsman, which is the brightest one of the three. Let's compare the Huntsman to this one here in a low light. Oh, the Huntsman is not anywhere close to that. And this is obviously going to be the brightest one. As you can tell, it's literally, it's brighter than or no, it's about as bright as the LumenTop is. It's, let's see how it would compare to this one's got a bigger spotlight to it, but oh, the 6 6 LED one is brighter than this iMini 2 one. So that's real interesting. You can capture the amount of light that is there on all these. So now that you know what the light is, I'm just going to do one other quick thing here for us all to look at. There are times when you don't have any light at all. You may want to grab something and look at something. This is what the world might look like.